just to sort of recap, because I think one of the things that is kind of getting missed here, there has been a goal of 1-to-1 that the schools have had. And it's unfortunate that sometimes a crisis is what we need to see where we lag behind in certain things. Certainly this board has seen it when it comes to public safety and pay increases, and we've seen it in other areas too. And so it sometimes does get to that point where it's not an intentional lack. It's just a situation has been thrown upon you that now you have to sort of shift your focus. And so you have had a 1-to-1 goal. The bonds is typically where you have been getting your money to fulfill that goal. And so what this has really done is sort of sped up that process and got it to the point where we said we're going to need to do this. Let's just be, I'll be very frank. This is federal money. We're not sending it back. The feds would send it to somebody else. We will be spending this money. Granted, we spent it on public safety, and now we have those local dollars that are freed up, which I had asked about, which is completely legal, but when it comes from the federal government with these guidelines, seems a bit ridiculous. The fact is that we have roughly $12 million. If we don't decide to do this for whatever reason that might come up, I think one of the things that we have really seen from this whole crisis is that this is not the end of learning virtually, nor is it the end of a hybrid model, nor is it the end. I think it's the beginning of something that 20, 30 years from now, you'll look back and you'll say 2020 was where it kind of all changed. And in thinking about that, one of the things I think that moves to the forefront from what we need to be doing is broadband across the entire county. And so if we decide not to, for whatever reason, invest that money in the school system, I think that we really should use that money in whatever capacity that we can, because it's not going away, and broadband is the telephone market, or not market, but the when they did it back in the 30s, and you got telephones across the entire country. And at that time, it seemed a little ridiculous to take a telephone all the way out to Ma and Pa's farm 30 miles away where they had no neighbors. Well, we're in the same predicament now. It's not going away. Broadband is not just a fad. It's not something that we're going to look back on like we did with DSL, and then it went to Wi-Fi, and everybody said, well, why were you putting so much cable in your buildings? It's not that. We need to get to that capacity so that our kids, we're not sitting here 4 years from now or 2 years from now or 10 years from now and saying, hey, is everybody going to be okay? Or, are there some places that really, don't even have connectability? And I know it's bad down in the southern districts, and it's even bad it's bad at my house, for instance. I have no cell phone capability. In the front room, you go in the back room, go outside, perfect. Right there in the front, none at all. Makes absolutely no sense. But I do have high-speed internet, the best that Verizon has. There are places that even with the satellite connections, you don't have good connections. So we need to start thinking beyond what we're currently dealing with and trying to get to that point so that if another outbreak of some sort happens in the future, which I'm sure it seems to be the way things are going in this world, and we shut it down because the flu is really bad one year, and we all go to hybrid learning, every kid has a device, and those devices are able to connect so that nobody is left behind, so that we don't lose time, and so that our kids get the education that they deserve. And I think that from a board perspective, I think we really need to look into that. And I know that I've talked with Kevin many times about it, working with our congressional delegation, because it's really going to take federal money to get a lot of this done. But I really think that's where our focus needs to be.